Hey everybody, it's Chris from Grounded Beef again. Tonight I wanted to talk about our past, and I thought I'd bring you out here and watch the sunset with me. I just thought it'd be something cool. So I really want to wake people up, and hopefully this helps one person that does not make this mistake. I think I told you in other videos that we almost lost the farm. And there's tough times coming up, and I don't want people to fall into this trap. So in 2005 or 6, I think 2005, we wanted to put windows in the house, new windows in the old farmhouse. And we just moved in here to take care of my grandfather, and my daughter was being born. And whatever, we decided to take a mortgage, roll all our debt into, the mortgage payment. And we ended up getting the mortgage. And we never should have gotten the mortgage. We should have never been qualified. Our credit score was not great. We had a lot of debt. It was just, we should have never gotten gotten qualified for the mortgage. And we were super excited. And I was working a ton of overtime. I was working 50, 60 hours a week, just tons of overtime. Like, I was on top of the world, and I'm a machinist or a tool maker. So I was working in a machine shop, and, we're just on top of the world. So, fast forward a little bit, I lost my job. I got laid off in 2007, maybe. And we bought strawberries for the farm here. We planted 4 acres of strawberries. But by the time a whole year came, like strawberries, you have to let them grow a whole year before you can harvest them. By the time that came, we had a bumper crop. Like, it was great. It was amazing. But we had to take all that money and get ourselves just current on our bills. Like, I would work some part-time jobs, but I didn't know many other things other than the machine shop. I wasn't real good at carpentry stuff. I wasn't real good at other things. I knew electrical, but I had it in my head I didn't want to do that. So we called the bank when I got laid off, and we told them up front. We said, listen, I got laid off. Is there anything you can do to help us? Like, we're gonna fall behind. We just wanted to let you know ahead of time that I got laid off, and I'm looking for work, but can you work with us for a few months? And they said, well, you're not late. We said, well, we know we're not late. We're trying to get ahead of this so you can work with us. And they said, well, we can't do anything with you until you're 3 months late, and then call back and we'll work with you. Okay. So we ended up being 3 months late. We called them up on the 3rd month, and their response was, well, it just went to foreclosure, so you got to call the foreclosure department. We were like, what the heck? Like, you told us that you couldn't do anything. And we called the foreclosure department. We spent hours on the phone with them. Hours. And before that, when we would send a check in, before we even got late, we would send a check in, and it wouldn't get cashed on time. They would wait until I think our payment was due the by the 15th of the month, they would sit on it and we would send it in. My wife would send it in. She was really good about that. Send it in early. They would sit on it until it was one day late, and then we get charged a late fee. And we didn't know any of this was happening until my wife started looking into this when we found out it was in foreclosure. We had all these fees to catch up on. We had all this stuff. It was just a big, big mess. And I really hope that somebody is listening to this and does not get a mortgage, because pretty soon here, they've lowered the credit score to get loans, because they want to loan people. They want to make these loans to people that they know they shouldn't have a mortgage, like us, and they're gonna lose their jobs, and they're gonna take the house back from you, and they want you to own nothing and rent from them. So I'm just warning you that this is coming. We've lived through this. We had no clue that we were living through that. We thought it was just us, but because of the people that I've met through YouTube, through Ninja Nation, if nobody knows about Ninja Nation, I suggest you get familiar with it. They are an amazing group of people. Amazing. They just want to help people. They want to see people thrive and not go through this pain. They've all experienced some kind of pain. And the economic ninja, wants the best for anybody that will listen to him. And so back to the foreclosure. Like, we fought. My wife was on the phone with them, fought and fought and fought and fought. They finally worked with us. They were amazing people. They worked with us. They made us come up with $5,000 up front. Now, mind you, I was laid off, and we couldn't make the monthly mortgage payment, which was like $950. But because they were so nice to us, that's sarcasm, they made us pay them $5,000 to catch up on half of the late fees. And then they were more than nice. They raised our payment from $950 to $1,470, or almost $1,500. So it was another $500 on top of the $950. So we ended up borrowing the $5,000 from my mom, which my dad had just passed away in 2009, and all this was going on top of that. So that was my rock bottom. Like, that was my darkest, blackest days I've ever experienced. Like, I was gonna lose the farm that's been in the family for 4 generations, and my dad died, and he was the one I always went to. He was always supporting me, and it has nothing to do with my mom. I mean, she supported me too, but not like I could bounce more things off my father. So we ended up borrowing money from my mom, which she was going through all this stuff with, my dad dying. So we borrowed the money. We did that. Oh, and while we were going through all this, there was people stopping their cars in front of our house, taking pictures of the property. And I would be out front walking from the barn to the house or whatever, and they would stop and take pictures of the property, to the point where I went out and confronted one of them. And he was like, well, I'm just doing what I'm told. Do you want to be in the picture or not? And I just stood in front of the car. Like, we were so scared. And luckily, by the grace of God, I mean, I prayed a lot. And I truly believe that was a learning lesson for us, but that was a hard learning lesson. We dug. We also went to a consumer credit council for help to see what to do. And everybody we talked to said, you got to sell the house. Said, just sell the house. Just sell the house and rent. Or buy a smaller house. Get out of debt. Get out of your mortgage. No, that's not an option for me, man. So what did we do? We came up with a $5,000 from my mother. I hustled like I've never hustled when I was younger. I mean, I hustle quite a bit now, but we did everything we could. My wife picked up extra stuff in the summer. She's a teacher, so she'd pick up summer school and other things, and we literally scraped and clawed and dug our way out, built up our credit score enough to get go through a different mortgage company, a local mortgage company. And they were like, why didn't you come to us before? And we were like, well, we did. We didn't have a good credit score. So they said, yeah, if that was through us, we would have worked with you and just cut your interest out or cut your payments in half and put them on the end. Well, now that I know what I know, they were just literally trying to take our house so that they could have it on their books. And it was a whole thing. And we're coming up to this again. And I don't want any of you to do this. If you can't afford a house comfortably, do not do it right now. There's going to be amazing opportunities in a couple years, a year or two. If you can't wait that long, come on. I'm just telling you, do not fall for these 40-year mortgages. Do not fall for these things that they're telling you you can have a lower credit score and get a mortgage. If you cannot afford it, don't do it, because it is nothing but heartache. It was such a strain on our marriage. We had a new baby, and we couldn't enjoy her like we should have. It was just stupid. It was just literally stupid why we got the mortgage. But I didn't see any of this coming. Like I said, I was killing it with overtime. And then it all dried up in 2009 till probably, I went back to work the end of 2009 after we settled everything with the mortgage. I went to the place I'm at now and making a lot less money. But I worked nights because my dad took care of my little one. And he obviously passed away. So we needed somebody during the day. And, I took as much overtime as I could get. I did as much hustling during the day when I was off as I could do. I'd get out on Friday night at midnight. I'd be back to work at 6-ish in the morning to do a 4 or 5 hour shift for overtime. We did whatever we had to do to get out of debt, and we have not stopped since then. And our credit score is good. We've paid off all of our debt except our house, and we have just our house. We're paying off the cars hopefully next week. So I'm just telling you, don't listen to them with you need a low credit score. Just keep doing what you're doing. Get a good credit score, because we're going to work our way out of this. This isn't going to last, but we're already in a recession. They just changed the definition. So I'm so passionate about this. I just want to help somebody or as many people as I can help to not fall for this. Please do not fall for this. If you can't afford a mortgage, and don't go in saying, well, we can afford this much, and then they're going to talk you into, an extra $100 a month or $200 a month, and then you're going to be strapped, but you think you can do it. Don't do that. Don't fall for that. Man, that's just stupid. And start learning this stuff, man. It's not, this is like, I'm going to be wealthy. Like, I'm going to be wealthy and I'm going to help other people. The end of story. I will never go back to what we were, where we were before. I don't want to keep this video too long, but I'm very passionate about this. I don't want anybody to experience any of this. So please, just be patient. If you can't buy a house, if you're renting, keep renting. Keep stacking money. Buy some silver, buy some gold, hedge your wealth. Like, learn all that stuff. It's not any more difficult than like 6th or 7th grade math to be wealthy. Most of the wealthy people in this country or around the world either quit school or failed out, and they're crushing it. Robert Kiyosaki is a great example, a great place to start. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Read that book. I've read it twice. I've listened to it twice. Read it. It will change your life. Wrap yourself around people that are smarter than you. The ninja told me when I first started watching him, shut your mouth and listen to people that are smarter than you. That's what I've done. I just don't want anybody to go through this. Please do not go through that. That pain and it was bad. It was just bad. And I know I got fired up. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I don't want you to go through that, man. So on that note, I'm going to cut it off here and show you the sunset here. It's pretty amazing. You know what the world has to offer for us. And being in debt is not one of them, because I could never sit here when I was in debt and watch this and just enjoy the night. I would be out working. And, you know, I can take a minute now and enjoy this with you. So thank you for being with me. Thank you for listening to my rant. And thank you for watching the sunset with me. On that note, that's my beef for tonight. Grounded Beef is out. Have a lovely, lovely evening.